It's for Nina, I don't really.
Lucas continued. Now the price is much greater. Success for Ukraine would herald the end for a dawn of democracy and freedom in Russia too. Well, what was Lucas doing? He was pushing the pretense of Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election and claimed that Moscow was spraying conspiracy to attack Russia before Russia could attack. Now, some of these journalists were simply assets of the British security services. They're working for the sinister Integrity Initiative. Marched in London to stop the war in Iraq. 1 million Iraqis died in that Western intervention. Where are the marchers now? Yet Boris Johnson is no less a butcher than Tony Blair. The aim is the same, a global technocracy led by Washington and the British aristocracy. You don't need to support either Ukraine or Russia. And I'll conclude with an anecdote. In 2002, I stayed with a family in Tambov, on the eastern edge of Black Earth country. Large queues staked around the local government office. So this is 100 miles inside Russia, with the Ukraine border. Visas had been made a requirement by the Ukraine before. A few years later, Ukraine stopped issuing visas for Russian tourists coming to Kiev, a city steeped in the heritage of holy Russia. And this was all encouraged by the EU and NATO. So what if Texas break away from the USA and have a leader installed by Russia? Perhaps open a few biolabs, sever the pipelines, change everything from American to Texan. But that is what the EU and NATO are doing in Ukraine. And this project is global technocracy, the new world order. And we should stand and fight against the carnage going on in Ukraine and against our money, our taxpayers' money, which should be going on. Reject this globalist war. Everybody, a big round of applause for Neil McCrae. A big round of applause for Neil. And guys, I think one thing you can realise is that you can see the passion we all have here. You know, because we know what is going on. We see the scam, and there's loads of t-shirts, there's loads of posters there at the front. Please come and get them. And you know, this is the thing you're always, you paid for by the Kremlin. That's what they always say. But you know what? You know what they can't understand? They can't understand that there's actually say, you know what? I'll chip in a few bob. I'll help these guys because they know what's going on. Because they're not stupid. They're not brainwashed by the garbage on the BBC and the Guardian and the emotional blackmail, because that's what they do. They emotionally blackmail you to get involved in wars that have nothing to do with you. What does a decent person do? They go up, excuse me, let's try and break it up. No, NATO comes in and says, let's give you a couple of axes. The death, that's the sickness that you're dealing with. Really, and do you know what's at the heart of this? It is sinister. There is a depopulation agenda at the heart of good people. You saw that in World War I, World War II, and also as well what we're seeing now in Ukraine, especially in Iraq and all these places. And the blood that flows down these streets, the blood that flows in the streets of Washington as well. It really is. It is disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting, and I'm sick of it, and I'm so glad there's others as well, and we're delighted we've got Lauren here today. Lauren is a brilliant lady, and she's taking a stand
from the Workers' Party of Great Britain. Are some of us fans of George Galloway? Okay, a wee bit. I mean, he's a Celtic fan. I get that, but you know, Big George. I remember when I was young, I used to hate George Galloway. I used to say he's an enemy of this country. But you know what? He's been right about many things, and he's been right about NATO. He was right about. Remember, he took it to the Americans and he showed them what he really thought of them. And you know, he's a man that's always stood by his principles. So Lauren, I'm sure, is going to talk about that. So everybody, please give a warm hand for Lauren from the Workers' Party, Great Britain.
Thank you. It may fall off, so please don't laugh at me. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here today. I just want to thank David and the team for extending an invitation to our party and for me to come and represent the party here. You might have heard that we're a socialist party, but don't worry, we're not, you know, walking around with our blue hair thinking that men can be women if they say so. And, you know, we stand opposed to the woke ideology, just as you do here today, I'm sure. Because our party, we're here to represent the working class. We're not here. If you join with us in opposing this war, then we are friends and we should work together. This is not an issue of the left or the right. It's not an issue of, you know, what positions we've had in the past, and, you know, decisions or positions on lockdown or vaccines or whatever. This is an urgent question that we're facing. Our brothers and sisters to go over and die for the sake of NATO, for the sake of those on Wall Street, in the City of London. Yeah.
Sorry,
no?
that's a bit bad marketing.
Yes, we don't want our sons and daughters, our brothers and sisters sent over to die for the sake of those in Whitehall, in Brussels, in Washington, on Wall Street, in the City of London, so that they can keep their profits coming in while we are starving on the streets. People are suffering. They can't afford their heating. They can't afford their supermarket bills, but we have money to. And that's why the Workers' Party helped to found the No to War group. We stand opposed to Britain's membership in NATO. We want to withdraw. We have a petition that we want everyone here to sign. There's leaflets that will be circulating the crowd shortly, but we want a national conversation on Britain's membership of NATO. Just as we pushed for Britain to leave the EU and disentangle its political ties to the Western Empire, we want our military independence as well. Because without military independence, we can't really be independent. So I would and further the conversation about Britain's withdrawal from NATO. One other thing I just wanted to talk about was, you know, we've been criticised a lot for standing on this platform today, and yeah, it means we're doing something right. You know, it's up to all. You know, the consequences of not stopping this war are, you know, quite dire, and I don't even want to really think about it. So that's all I have to say. It shows a level of maturity that we don't see in the rest of the left, the ruling left as we like to call them. So yeah, please take a look at our Telegram channel as well, Workers GB. We've been promoting a lot of the UNN work, and you know, we hope to work together closer in the future. Thank you.
Thank you to Lauren for her very kind and generous words. And that really is a culture that she's so right, a culture that's been created. Oh, you can't speak with them, they can't speak with you, you believe this. Look, I don't think I'm being dramatic when I say and look, Mr. Ford has been an outstanding voice speaking out against that. And like, just think about this for a second. There's 659 MPs in Parliament. Not one of them has said, why are we giving all these weapons and money to Ukraine? Not one. Name me mainstream political media figure that said, I've never heard one. How is that possible? That is levels of compliance you wouldn't even get in North Korea. So I'm delighted, everybody, please give a warm hand for the great Mr. Peter Ford.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, David. Yes, I used to work in that building there, Foreign Office. Now, as you see, under Ukrainian occupation, the flag used to go into that building there, the cabinet office, also under Ukrainian occupation. The treasury, also under Ukrainian occupation. It may not be a military occupation, but it's an occupation of the intellectual landscape. It's an occupation of the mind. And the fact that you're here today shows that you have open minds. You want to hear, why should Britain be involved in this conflict? Well, we shouldn't. Our involvement, I'm going to show you. Now, the government and their strap hangers in the media and big business, they ever to look at the justifications for involvement, because when we start to look, we see that it is all a series of big lies. None of it holds up to examination. The first big lie is that if we don't stop Putin in his tracks in Ukraine, well, what else? Putin, with a relatively small morsel like Ukraine, how is it even remotely thinkable that they could be marching across that North European plain? It is just, it's childish, it's absurd, it's ridiculous, but this is basically the main argument of the government for our involvement here. The second big lie is that, well, we've got the international community with us. This is a huge lie. What they mean is we've got the Anglosphere, that's Europe and America, Australia, Canada, and on the other side they don't count. This is fundamentally racist. 2/3 of humanity are not part of the Anglosphere or the EU. But these people of colour, the billions, China, India, Africa, they don't count. This is racist. This is fundamentally racist. In the same way that Ukrainians, but Africans and Asians don't even think about it. The underpinnings of this conflict, intellectual, are profoundly racist. It's a white man's war. The third big lie is that, well, if Russia isn't stopped, then this will be a shot in the arm for all the authoritarians, and we have to stop the mob. If this means anything, it might conceivably mean that, well, we have to watch out for what's going to happen on Taiwan. If Russia is successful, then the Chinese might follow suit with Taiwan. Well, there's only one thing you can say in response to that. So what? So what? It is not our fight. Anyway, China, I'm sure, would not be so stupid as to invite a full military war with America, a full economic war with the rest of the world by attacking Taiwan. But in any case, it would not be our war. There is no reason for Britain to be afraid of what's happening in these far-flung countries. Authoritarianism. Why should we be afraid of authoritarianism outside when we already have it in this country? This is where the authoritarians are. As David pointed out, not one single MP speaks for the truth. Not one party is a peace party. We have no choice. We have no choice on this. We have no choice on the climate alarmism. We have no no choice. The COVID, you went COVID or all. No choice, coercion, mandate, brainwashing, the digital surveillance state. Again, no choice. It's just insidiously foisted on you in the same way that we've had this, our participation in the conflict foisted on us. Coming to the end now, giving you plenty to think about, because the government don't want you to think. This is the key to their brainwashing us. They don't want any of these big lies to be examined. And finally, there's the matter of the cost of the war. I watched the things we do for the cause. I watched the Conservative Party political broadcast the other night, forced myself to watch. You must know what the enemy are saying. And they said, Putin's responsible for inflation. Well, yes, you're right, it's a joke. It's a joke, but the laugh is on us, because most gullible people suck it up. We all know that the Ukraine conflict is costing us billions we don't have, billions that we're paying for through the nose. More importantly, we're paying the cost through the higher price of energy. Partly because of our friends down the road, all the costly renewables, all that nonsense.
If people don't know, there is there's a pro-Ukraine, pro-Zelensky group led by Pavlov in Speaker's Corner and Speaker's Corner Steve, and they're arguing with the people attending the rally here. You might be hearing them on the other side there. I might go over there, but I kind of want to respect the speeches as well.
No, they don't want to see it. But we see it because we are the thinking people. And I'll just finish by thanking you for coming, thanking you for being part of the thinking minority. So carry on resisting, brothers and sisters. Thank you.
Well done, Peter. Thank you so much for coming along. Can I just say thanks very much as well to the assembled audience for listening so patiently as well. And it is a good turnout today. It's not thousands, it's not tens of thousands, but you know what, it's a start. Kids are going to start getting drafted into the military to go and fight on far-flung battlefields. They might think about it. But you know, this is what's happening over in Eastern Europe. Young men are being coerced into war. Do you know what they say the average life expectancy of a young Ukrainian soldier is in Bakhmut from training? 4 hours. 4 hours since being trained and heading onto the battlefield, and then you're getting a bullet in your head or a bomb. And you know the other thing they don't show you? They don't show you the images of the men and women who have had their arms blown off, their legs blown off. You never see that, do you? You ever see Armageddon over there with a wee sly voice showing you people with their legs blown off? Because they know public support for this ridiculous NATO proxy war would fall. You know, there's an idiot over there with a banner says Russia is a terrorist state. The United Kingdom is a terrorist state. The United States of America is the #1 terrorist state in the world. They bomb every single country they can. Women, children, Agent Orange, gas, depleted uranium shells. They are the evil empire. That's what the United States of America is. But you know what? It's collapsing. It's falling because like all empires, they get greedy. Like all empires, they get lazy. And they get other people to... This is exactly what happened in ancient Rome. They got mercenaries to fight their wars for them. And then one day before you know it, it's all gone. And it can't happen soon enough. Because everybody's sick of them. They're sick of American imperialism. They don't give a shit about Ukraine. All the deal that we cared about was Hunter Biden being on the boards, Mitt Romney's kids on the boards in Ukraine, Nancy Pelosi's children. It is disgusting. the levels of corruption that they have. It really, really is. We've got a speaker who wasn't announced, but because we are open and tolerant, we're prepared to listen to another view. And this is Stuart Richardson from Stop the War. And they have a slightly different view, but that's fine, and I'll explain why I'm different. But can everybody please give a warm hand for Stuart Richardson from Stop the War, because at the end of the day, we all want this war to stop.
Thank you, Chair. And I just want to refer, I'm Stuart Richardson, the Secretary of Bern Stop the War Coalition, and I'm going to explain our view on the war. But I just want to refer to this question of the terrorist state. The British state tortured hundreds of Irish. The war on Iraq, it wasn't hundreds, it was tens of thousands of Iraqi citizens, Syrian citizens who were tortured by American CIA, the various forces of the British Army. Nobody has actually been brought to justice for this mass torture that occurred in these years, extradition and torture. But I think the other thing that struck me recently is the revelation that there are 90, according to the secret documents circulated by this young man in America, who did a great justice. He should be regarded as a hero, reporting the crimes of these people. He's reported that the 97 Western Special Forces are operating in Ukraine. Now, if that's not a proxy war in which British and American imperialism are fighting that war, it obviously is. But just to say a little bit about the background, in 1990 there were meetings that took place on the winding up of the Warsaw Pact, and it was said by leading American politicians that NATO would not expand. What has happened over the last 30 years is continually expanded. Now, can you just imagine if the Mexican government agreed to have Russian nuclear weapons on the borders of America? I think Mexico wouldn't exist in the next month. It'd be smashed to smithereens. So the notion that we have an extremely provocative expansion of the NATO forces, which has actually freaked out the Russian leadership, and that has actually provoked the war. And the other thing I think we should take up, and this is rarely talked about, is the question, is this a struggle between democracy and autocracy? Now, the Russian state is a repressive state, it's jailed and brutalized many anti-war campaigners, but in Ukraine, the Communist Party has been banned for 8 years. In March 2022, 14 left-wing parties won with 10% of the MPs. Now, the Scottish Nationalists have got something like about 56 MPs. That is not 10% of the MPs. So a party, it'd be like and a whole series of other groups which obviously come from the Trotskyist tradition and therefore clearly nothing to do with any sort of support for Putin. And I recently had an argument with, and there are people unfortunately on the left who do support this. I said, well, what do you say about the banning of the Communist Party? Now, I have different politics of the Communist Party, but I would be totally, I said to him, well, the logic is to ban the Morning Star, ban the British Communist Party. And he replied that they were Russian agents in the Ukrainian Communist Party. I said, well, there have been Russian agents, democratic rights in this country. And therefore it is not a conflict between a democratic Ukraine. The trade unions are largely suppressed, Parliament, and is able to operate in a relatively limited way in that state. So we would say there are two features here, and this is where we might disagree with some of the organisers of NATO. But the other thing I just want to quickly mention is that there is the democratic question of eastern Ukraine. And it is clear there is a sentiment and a support for Russia and its war in eastern Ukraine. Eastern Ukraine has been subject, since the banning of the Communist Party before, of discrimination, attacks by fascist and Nazi elements. they did form in the early 2000s a party which advocated autonomy. Like the Scottish Nationalist Ukraine is banned. And it seems to me in any democratic settlement, and there has to be a democratic settlement, a peace deal, that's why we say peace now in Ukraine, the rights of solidarity with this good initiative. We're organising a series of meetings with Claire Daly, an MP from the Irish Republic, MEP, who's touring the country and speaking at meetings in Brighton, Manchester and London. I think there are people like Jeremy Corbyn, very, very limited and very, very who are speaking out on this. Anyway, and I think he could be more but I mean there are forces in the trade union movement. I'll just finish by saying there is a great in the trade union movement. At the TUC last September, the TUC or October voted to increase the military budget. Now, in this context of massive pay cuts for hospital workers, for school workers, I'm a member of the National Education Union, we have this mad proposal to increase military expenditure from 2% to $5 billion to settle the teachers' pay claim on a 10% increase will cost $2 billion. So we're talking, that's the scale of money. So we should be united in fighting in the trade union movement against that cringing to the militarists and to the warmongers. And we look forward to your cooperation in that fight, as well as fighting for peace in Ukraine. Solidarity, brothers, sisters.
Thank you very much, Stuart. Very much, Stuart. Can I just say, I'm really quite honoured. I think that does show how we can work together. That's what used to happen in a civilised society.
Go to
that if people agreed on most things, they might not agree on, and might not agree on everything, but they can work together on the issues that matter. I'm really humbled today, and I thank Stuart for that.
Grab any people you see around there as well. Okay, so
I think on the position of the immediate withdrawal of Russian troops from Ukraine. It's not a position though that I can. It's leading up to the Ukraine conflict. Well, in the years before it, the Ukrainian regime had been indiscriminately bombing civilians in the Donbass and Luhansk regions, people that they say are their own people. What sort of government shells their own citizens? What sort of government would do that? Do you know what would happen if Russia withdrew their troops? Do you know what would happen? There would be a genocide. There would be full-scale ethnic cleansing. Don't say there wouldn't now. I don't like the UN, I don't like peacekeeping forces, that's a different suggestion of able to go in. But to say that if Russia could just unilaterally withdraw, it would be carnage and bloodshed. So, what are they meant to do? Are the Russians just going to just say, oh, well, that's fine, we'll just sit back and allow it? And that really is... It's a bad war. It is a complicated war. As the gentleman reminded me at the front, they've not just banned political parties, they've banned a church. Who does that? Who bans a church? The Christians. They've been there for hundreds and hundreds of years. And we've all seen the footage as well of people being tied to trees. Young women, young men accused of stealing, of doing the wrong thing, they've been tied to trees for petty crimes. Just don't give me your nonsense. If you're going to say Russia's bad, fine. If you're going to say Putin's fine. But don't tell me Zelensky's a good guy. Don't tell me he's a good guy, because he's not. And don't tell me the Azov Battalion and the right sector are good guys. These are not. These people are extremists. Yeah, I mean, they are. Well, I'm just going to have Angela, and then we're going to have Piers, and then that'll be us. Can I just say as well, there's lots of posters, there's lots of leaflets at the front. Please go and help yourself. Keep keep going and keep going and keep going. So Angela, you're going to say a few words, please, about the conflict. Please give a warm hand for Angela.
This time to make what's the little peninsula?
They call it Donbass.
So I've been out of my comfort zone since the last 3 years.
He said to
and
me,
I encourage it, okay? So I've stepped out of my comfort zone. I don't do public speaking generally. I've been arrested on several occasions. But I do encourage you because it's stepping into your own power. And that's what we need to do in this. Rishi Sunak, we demand you resign.
He's paid. You're a
public for a start.
On the ground,
To fund terrorism through government extortion, widely known as tax. We don't just fund terrorism picked of the World Economic Forum with a cocaine problem. Russian oligarchs, what about the Ukrainian oligarchs working with global corporations? The UK is going through its own economic, cultural and social crisis, with inflation running at over 10%, while you pump our money into terrorism, embezzlement and fraud, all in the name of democracy. I had to look up democracy in an old edition in the Oxford Dictionary the other day, because apparently I live in a democracy, even though the only choice I seem to have is between one type of product and another when shopping, and that's until programmable digital currency is rolled out, when I'll certainly be banned from the purchase of red spray paint for painting blood on your hands on the BBC's backdoor windows. Apparently, democracy is government by the people. But what happens if the media owned by corporations tell the population lies and make allegations like Russia invaded Ukraine without providing any context? We have propaganda. History has taught us that fascism is propaganda in countries, but the CIA didn't want President Yanukovych, I apologise for the pronunciation, I'm not familiar, to join the Russian Eurasian Economic Union. Yeah. We had to go. The objective of all NATO-supported other revolutions incited by Western propaganda, including the BBC, are to destabilise the country and plunder its resources, both in the UK and abroad. Following the coup led to the rise in income tax by 66%, with the price of gas going up by 50%. The winners were not the people, they were GMO giants, Monsanto and DuPont, who can get their hands on some of the world's most fertile farmland. The Biden family and bloodthirsty NATO-funded neo-Nazi nationalists responsible for the deaths of 14,000, mainly in Donetsk and Luhansk, over a period of 8 years. The globalists really love an actor and a comedian when the joke is on us. Sean Penn awarding Zelensky an Oscar, remarkably fitting in this current episode of 1984. It was revealed in the that Zelensky and partners in crime, whose election campaign promised to fight corruption and restore peace in Ukraine, had established a network of offshore companies to avoid tax. Ukraine has received over 126 billion in aid from its allies since the start of Russia's special military operation, 70% of which cannot be accounted for. So billionaire Zelensky, the poster boy of democracy, who had his political opponent arrested, and various journalists and dissidents detained and assassinated, and reached celebrity status.
As you can hear it.
For a man supposedly running a country at war with Russia, a superpower, he's been very busy with public relations, attending the Golden Globes, Grammys, Cannes Film Festival, even Glastonbury, alongside World Economic Forum, Bilderberg, and addressing nearly every parliament in Europe. 2 to 3 weeks before the war in Ukraine broke out, he spoke at the Dia Summit where he boasted to various World Economic Forum players of his success in developing a state in a smartphone, and announced his intention to give children as young as 8 this Trojan horse of the New World Order for free. He fully embraces Schwab's vision. Biological, technological and physical world. More recently, an article by the Atlantic Council reported how Zelensky visualises Ukraine becoming a big Israel with military forces permanently in civil society. Welcoming Israel
Actual coverage is with
technology
Pavlov.
will be key to security.
I don't know if he's live streaming on his Odyssey channel. He only live streams on channel now to go. Maybe check also, open a window up to actual coverage Odyssey. And whilst you're there, do subscribe to me as well, guys, please.
Taxes where possible. Stop funding the globalists who hold taxes where possible. Challenge the courts. They protect the rich and lock up those that threaten corporate interests. The people, us, we have the power to change history. Step out of the fear. Step out of your comfort zone.
Actual coverage is finger pointing going on with Sorosha and Pavlov. It's all animated, it's all pointing.
Brilliant answer, brilliant speech. Thank you. And you know what the reality is? That was a brilliant, really in-depth speech. People, if you forget, just like propaganda you see, this is not what you think it is. This is not like they portray it on the BBC. It's not like they portray it on The Guardian. It is complicated. It is brutal. It is not black and white. And in these situations, you know what? You're just as well not getting involved. And we have one final speaker today. He's a man that knows all about the war that is being foisted on us. And it is a war that is being enacted by our very own supposedly democratically elected government. And here's a man who will always be there, he will always call out, and he's actually one of the Corbyns that really is not afraid to say the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only Piers Corbyn!
Well, thank you very much indeed, David. And I want to thank all the speakers here, because, you know, this is an issue on which we are standing out. Now, there will always be a war, warned George Orwell. He said, you will be told about it. You will follow what you have to be told to do in order to serve the greater interest. Your government will. That's what George Orwell did, and that is what is happening now. And it's always going to be. Angela pointed out, what is the greater good in this? It's money for Zelensky, it's money for the war machine, it's money for the corporations producing all the arms. It is a war on you! And that is the point. The New World Order have 6 legs of tyranny, if you like, and this is one of them. And in practical terms, this war is a cover for many things. But the top 2 are, it's a cover for energy price hikes, but no oil comes from Ukraine. It's all bullshit. Complete, utter bullshit. Yet in the name of the war, the profit of the mega oil corporations has gone up astoundingly. Yeah. At the same time, people who just stop oil save the planet, build a wind farm, and energy prices will go down. They've never been higher. These people are deranged, and we should go down there afterwards and tell them so, politely. Which reminds me, I was in a court in a church yesterday, and you've probably seen it on mainstream media, where I read out a bit of Matthew 21 verses 12 and 13, where Jesus cast out of his house of prayer because they turned it into a den of thieves, and that is what XR have done. But we'll talk more about this later. So the second leg, apart from the energy prices, the second big leg is it gives you another flag, another false story in their raft of narratives to imprison the population. It's a flag to follow, and look, there's one there, there's one there, and there's one there. And there's only one United Kingdom flag. We're outnumbered 3-1 by these flags. You know there's something to do, something you can get arrested for. Take down the Ukraine flags! Take down the Ukraine flags! Take the Ukraine flags! It works. Very strange conversations yesterday. Like, we say something and they say, have you heard of Donald Trump?
Yes.
I'll give you an example.
The cultists are coming.
Pardon?
The cultists are coming.
The XR.
There will be popular action fronts on key issues.
The cultists are coming. The cultists are coming.
He did. He relied on the Glastonbury middle classes, and then the whole lot is imposed on him, and now his particular war campaign is calling for Russian withdrawal. If the Russians withdraw, then Zelensky wins. That is clear what it's about. We call for a ceasefire and a peace conference now! So that is the difference between the United Front, which we stand for, and popular frontism, which in the end, in the hands of all left social democracy, is giving in to the bourgeois state. That is what they're doing.
We're going to have a chant for the cultists across the road. Are you ready? Are you Satan? Are you Satan? Are you Satan in disguise? Turn in disguise. Louder! Are you Satan? Are you Satan? Are you Satan in disguise? Are you Satan in disguise? Brilliant. Are you? Oh, the thing's not very good. Alright. Well, I think they got the message. Are you Satan over there? Come on, have a debate. No, they never have debates, these people. When I was in the church yesterday, they started singing. They sang well, I have to say. But you know, it's the message that counts, not the ability to sing or shout. It's very important that we never adopt anything in the programme of the other side, and that is the story of my brother. And the same thing happened in the 70s. We had a British Council for Peace in Vietnam, and we had a Vietnam Solidarity campaign. The British Council for Peace in Vietnam, supported by the Communist Party, was very vague about who they wanted to win. They wanted peace. The Vietnam Solidarity campaign said, then victory to the National Liberation Front. And in the end, the VSC had 100,000 on the street, and the British Council for Peace in Vietnam had bugger all. And we know what happened. There was victory to the National Liberation Front. It's a war. We have to be clear where we stand. And we say that the Russians, we call for a peacefire and a peace conference. Okay, now there's going to be popular frontist tricks played upon us in our movement, and one of the ones you must know about, if you don't already, is the Together campaign. Now this is a bastard child of Sunak, Farage and the Revolutionary Communist Party. That is what it is. Now I can't imagine more of a disgusting bastard freak to come out of those three.
don't even know what the pronoun of it will be. But if you think about it, the role of the revolutionary left in the past is very curious. I was involved, but no, the Socialist Workers' Party supports the killing programme of the Marxists. What is this? They're intelligent people, they can read, they can see the death, but they still support it. So in the end, these people are tools of the other side. They're tools of the new world tyranny. Okay, quick round of applause for that, please. Now, I'm going to end very shortly, but I have been asked to say things about my car, because where you are standing, it was inspected on Bank Holiday Monday, I think, by armed police. In fact, they stopped me 3 times, and the 3rd time, armed police, experts on checking vehicles, checked the vehicle, and said it was in very good running order. They even checked the tracking rods. Next day, my car is lifted on my flap. Now look, the car's worth 500 quid tops.
No, it's not.
No bailiff will lift any car if it's worth less than 2 grand. That is their rules. They will not do it because it's a waste of money. So it was only picked up by orders from on high, the same orders from Sadiq Khan that told the police to harass me one day, and the car's picked up the next day. And the good news is, and he's going to hold up a donation box, we have certain measures we've got to take to get the car back. And it does not involve paying those so-called fines, by the way. So that's the box, and we need 500 quid. That's about a quid for each of you. No, 50p from each of you. So I accept a tenner.
That will buy the car back.
Yeah, okay. Right, so what next? We have to build a united action front on Just Stop War in Ukraine on the lines that we're in. If we can draw my brother into that, that would be fantastic, and we should. But the basic principle has to be ceasefire and conference. And united frontism around would-be candidates everywhere. So some of us have been getting together from different groups to set up what we say hashtag our movement, hashtag the United Front, which are key issues on which any candidate we support from any party would have to stand. And they're pretty simple. One of them, men are men, women are women. No, immediately, all the major parties in Parliament are out. In fact, all the parties in Parliament are out of that. Second one, roads are for travelling on. Wow, what a revolution. But you know, the Labour left then are out completely, even if they support us on Ukraine or whatever, which they don't. Self-determination for East Ukraine. Well, that's obvious. Self-determination for Scotland, you're from Scotland. Self-determination for East Ukraine. Self-determination for the Punjab. And victim to Palestine, I say, if he named for the Punjab. And there's plenty of others in the list. They get in touch. This will be released soon. It's a united front. It's not just me talking about this. It's across the board. So I better finish here and say, look, the way forward is tread carefully, think carefully. We will be watchword for all of you is resist! Defy! Do not comply! Resist! Defy! Do not comply! Resist! Defy! Do not comply!
And thank you. Thanks for that t-shirt. Yeah, Angela can maybe wear that. Thank you very much. Everybody, a round of applause for Piers Corbyn. So everybody, it's a lovely sunny day, so we'll let you go on your way, because I know these things can drag on and everybody's there, but I just want to say thank you so much to all of you for listening so patiently, and just a huge thanks to everybody who was involved in today, they're contributing for our posters and our banners, to everybody who spoke. I want to thank all of our speakers, Anthony Webber, Neil McKay, Warren, Peter Ford, Angela, I don't think I've missed anybody, I think that was everybody. And who? This guy? Oh yeah. There he is, Mr. Corbyn, Piers Corbyn. A man that needs no introduction really. You know, he gets a lot of stick, does Piers, but I love him. And I think if you care about freedom, and I remember being Piers to do with Brexit all these years ago, and he's always been out and having nothing but admiration. And you know, we all need to kind of work together and do our best. As I say, we don't all have to be best friends. We don't all have to agree on everything. That's not how the world works. That is a tool that is used by the globalist powers that be. Well, he said that, they said that. We can all come together, and what should we all come together for? Is to fight for freedom, to fight for people in this country to make the decisions for this country, because we are held hostage. This is a hostage situation. We don't decide what to do. This is not a democracy. It is a lie. It is an absolute sham. And then to close out on the Ukraine situation, you know, I've got nothing against excuse me, your average Ukrainian person, somebody that cares about their country. But Anwar Sadat, the leader of and there is a solution to the Ukraine situation. It's very, very simple. These areas that have had democratic referendums should be part of the Russian Federation. Ukraine, the rest of it, should be a neutral state, and they can live in peace. And that is it. And the neutral state can be guaranteed, and we can all get on with it. But they will not let that happen, because there's too much money being made. There's too much corruption. And that is why we are here today. We are the people that are standing for peace. We are the people that are standing for pragmatism. And when you do that, they will lie about you, they will smear you, they will use the full force of the state to truth. And that is the only thing that matters. So everyone, we'll keep fighting. Please watch us on UNN. Come to rallies, come to events, sign petitions, deliver leaflets. There's loads of posters and leaflets. Please go out yourself. There's going to be some music on afterwards. You're welcome to stay. Certainly make it a better place. So thanks very much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.
I've got to. I think so. Yeah.
Recording of what happened in the church is on my video.
I recognise.
How you doing, darling?
I should have been there yesterday.
Okay, alright.
I have triggered so many people with these signs on to.
Well, you kind of get up with people at 1.9, basically. So, we'll go over there. We'll go over there shortly and see what he's got to say. There's going to the event in the evening. Yeah, okay, cool. No, because I want to know. Your birthday? No. We'll do some jams now. Let's see. So just hang around until my stream dies because it's getting terrible. Alright, how you doing? You alright?
Do some hanging around.
Hanging around. So we're just going to hang around until how you doing, Ving? You alright? You good? How you doing?
Okay.
But then in the evening in East Ham.
You go to East Ham.
Yeah, East Ham.
It's a bit tricky.
Yeah, I know, I understand. Some people it's a bit difficult, I know. It's also, its actual coverage's 40th birthday, believe it or not.
Oh,
yeah. So there you go. So we're just going to hook up some music. I want to know, Saroj, what was Pavlov? I saw you got animated with Pavlov. You look like you're getting animated. You look like you're arguing with him. Yeah. You was like going.
Did I?
It looked like you. Wait. Oh right. Okay. Fair enough.
Like, I think there's other people. All these other guys after. Whenever I speak to him after, he goes, "No, I don't want to do it." Then fuck off, then, innit?
Yeah.
When he comes to my video, you prick.
Exactly.
I told him, shut the fuck up.
Alright.
I'll come to you afterwards.
Yeah. That's funny. But
born in spring,
it's his birthday.
but this is like the special.
It's his birthday today. That's why you got to come to East. Look at that. You two dress alike, don't you? Yeah. What do you think of their scarves? What do you think of their scarves?
Brilliant. Where's the microphone?
Brilliant. Mike? I don't know.
Where's the microphone?
I don't know where the mic is. Yeah. So. I got it. This is it. Yeah, so go on. Yeah, so Anonymous.
How you doing, Sean?
Oh, good. How you doing, man? You good? You right? You going to perform now?
No, after somebody else.
Cool. Are you going to East Ham after, by chance?
Yes. Now, Sean.
Just a bit of music, and then Denmark Arms. You going? I know you live. Oh, you are. Oh, fantastic. Oh, yeah. So there you go. Daz is going to be performing at Denmark Arms later, open mic. Yeah. Fantastic. Stand up. Yeah. Anyone we can get. I mean, it's. Can I perform a song, or can I say a speech? Can I say some spoken word poetry stuff? Whatever, man. You want to go on and start taking your clothes off? You want to do some cabaret? You want to do some cabaret? You can do it. You can do it. Just do it. Yeah. So there you go. So come along, guys. Yeah, it's Soroshi's birthday today. It's his birthday. So
David gone now, is he?
David Cruz? He can probably around this. It's just her. It's just her.
Oh yeah.
It's just her. Hello, darling. You all right? How are you? Come on. You good? Yeah. What's going on?
Here again.
Yeah, here again. We're gonna have a bit of music.
Outreach tomorrow.
All right. Where's that?
And 11 o'clock, down the bridge, you know, near where the water is.
Yeah.
So we're getting a bunch of
I don't know whether it's not I've been arranging some of these events. I'm non-stop addressing on squad non-stop. So I might just pass out tomorrow after everything. They're fucking retards, they're morons, so don't worry about them.
Far away, I'll take you quick. Dodgy, God, there's a naked lady, it was a car. Oh yeah, dodgy, something. Where's your Comic Con? Where's your Comic Con? Where's your Comic Con? Where's your Comic Con? Far away, I'll take you away. Where's your Comic Con? Where's your Comic Con? Where's your Comic Con? Where's your Comic Con? I'll take you away. Anyway, this is one I quite like singing in this vicinity. Particularly because it's an old Russian, based on an old Russian song, and it's fairly simple, so you can all sing along to it. You're traitors, you're traitors, you're traitors, you're traitors, you're traitors, you're traitors, you're It's not quite related to this Ukraine thing, but it seems quite relevant to me. So here we go, die. Why did we all die? Why did we all die? Oh! Why did we all die? 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 We never took your vaccine. Why did we all die? We never wore a face mask. Why did we all die? And we never did. Why did we all die? Oh! Why did we all die? Why did we all die? Why did we each other?
I'm gonna have a little.
Why did we all die?
Right, are we going to stay?
Oh! Why did we all die?
This is. Thing.
Get up, stand up, stand up.
So we got. He's asked you're right, Pavlov. How do you like
Because the other attendance was very.
Where's the first one?
I'm impressed. This is at least like 50 people.
Where's like the first one? Yeah, I mean you've got about 6 people here.
Yeah, but that's because there's a different event going on.
Yeah, but you know what? Because don't you ever think, Pavlov, that if the state is flying that flag, the Treasury, MI5 was flying it, Ministry of Defence was. Don't you think perhaps you're on the wrong side? If the state is flying it.
Seriously,
if the state is flying the flags and the MI5 is flying the flags, don't you think perhaps all of the other people that are usually saying woke stuff are all supporting that? Don't you think perhaps you're being conned?
I see a British flag.
Yeah. But it's not, yeah, but it's the state, it's not the people, it's the state, it's the
British people give to Ukraine because they promised to support Ukraine in the Budapest Memorandum.
Yeah, don't you think we've given enough money? Don't you think there's enough money been given?
Of course not.
No, never enough money. Do you just want troops on the ground? Does that mean UK British troops on the ground?
In terms of money, I'm not going to say no, send more. Send what is necessary, no more than
so
necessary.
that could be money though, that could be troops.
Weapons, I think that there could be sent more weapons to Ukraine right now. Because Ukraine is still lacking some of the best armament that the West has. And if Ukraine gets access to it, Russians will stand no chance.
Because there's a lot of people saying, what, you know, you're a young, fit, healthy man. Why don't you go and fight in Ukraine?
Oh yeah, I've heard that one very often.
But why don't you?
It's very funny to hear this.
But why don't you? Well, why don't you go to Ukraine?
In a bit. It's very funny to hear this from people who I hear against sending tax money to Ukraine, and yet encourage British taxpayers to go to Ukraine. So it kind of is
what do you mean? Say that again? I don't understand. Say that again.
No, I'll answer your question.
Well, I don't know what that meant, that last statement.
You don't know what it meant? Okay,
no, what did that mean, sir?
So these people who are here today, they're against sending money to Ukraine, British tax money, right?
Yeah.
And taxpayers to Ukraine. Yes, you are. These people
we don't want to send any troops to that.
A lot of people telling me
but you're Ukraine nationalist, and so you come here, but you. I think you want British military in. You want British. What question? Tell me the question. What's the question?
Listen.
Go on.
I am a British taxpayer.
Yes.
I pay tax.
Yes.
Why would these... I'm not a nationalist.
Yeah, but
I'm a supporter
you have
of Ukraine.
Do you not have a Ukraine passport?
No.
Were you born in Ukraine?
I was.
Right. So you got
Portuguese.
Very expensive to make.
Right. Okay. But you're okay. Well, at least you're a fan of Ukraine. Okay. You're at least a supporter of Ukraine.
Yes, I am a
Why don't you go and fight in Ukraine?
Okay. There's a few different reasons.
Go on.
Are you going to let me finish? Or are you
no, it's alright. Okay, well, they'll train you.
First of all, I have no military training.
They'll train you.
Secondly of all, I'm a Portuguese citizen, and there's been some problems.
Can you still volunteer?
Okay, are you going to keep it?
But you can. I'm just saying, you can still volunteer, can't you?
It's just bad manners, man.
No, but you can volunteer.
Anyway, I'll just continue.
Yeah, go on.
I don't mind it that much. So my point is,
do I help you join? I'm going to help you join, Pavlov. I'm going to help you join now.
Are you going to join?
No, because I don't believe in it. Because I don't believe in it.
Well, no, that sounds like.
But you do believe. believe in it. I mean, you're waving the flag. You do believe. I don't believe in it. I'm anti-war.
The second reason is because I'm a Portuguese citizen, and there's been some issues in the Foreign Legion in Ukraine. There's been a lot of infiltrators, so these days they're a lot more reticent about taking people from abroad, like foreigners. And now I count as what's going on. And there need to be people who know the situation and who are willing and able to inform them about exactly what's going on in Ukraine.
Yeah, but
you guys,
maybe they just don't care. Maybe they just don't care.
You guys understand very well the meaning and the purpose of what protest is, because they do make a change. Even a small and insignificant protest like this one makes a slim
or this one. Yeah, go on.
Well, the usual Ukrainian protests are at least this big, and this is not a Ukrainian protest. This is just something that I personally.
Yeah, no, even though you've got loads of. That's grassroots. That's grassroots, right? Your one has all of the state flags flying in, MI5 and big corporations all supporting you. No, but in MI5, no, at Vauxhall, the MI5, they were flying the flag because it was my video that went viral that shared it. No, the Ukraine flag, right, is flying above all of the state buildings. You've got big multinational corporations.
Great to see you.
You've got big national corporations, big multinational corporations supporting you. I mean, even with all the money, the unlimited money, it seems.
It's not unlimited. No money is unlimited.
Well, yes, but you know what I'm saying. National corporations support Ukraine, state buildings support Ukraine, corrupt state buildings support Ukraine, right? Don't you think perhaps that you've not questioned, like, I mean, you want everyone to go and fight, but you won't go. You'll send people to the meat grinder. You'll send people to. You say you'll do whatever it takes, whatever it needs. Does that mean? Answer the question. Do you want UK troops? Clear it up. I'll retract it. Okay, look. We'll retract it if you answer the question. Do you advocate for UK military troops to be fighting in Ukraine, as in boots on the ground?
Already UK troops in Ukraine.
There's 50, or maybe they're probably all dead now. But
and plus,
so you do advocate for it.
UK troops go to Ukraine.
Yeah.
I think UK should not send.
But do you advocate for it?
Know exactly what's going on, exactly how to help the Ukrainian. Not just some average recruits. No.
But do you advocate for like a military involvement in Ukraine from UK troops? Not indirectly. Indirectly.
Support Ukraine with weapons, with money.
Do you know what I'm going to do, Pavlo? I'm going to help you out. I'm going to help you join. I'm going to help you join the Ukraine front because I know you want to go. I know you desperately want to go because you're so passionate.
Tell these guys to go home.
You're so passionate.
Guys to go home.
You're going to help you're trying to look. These are really poor intelligence tactics you're using, Pavlov. I used to be in politics, mate. You're not going to trick me up in this stuff, yeah, right? You're not ready for someone like me, yeah, right? What? Sorry?
Why not in politics now?
Because it's all corrupt. It's all fake. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is nonsense. It's not. Everyone knows that. You ask anyone.
And say that seriously.
I'm saying it seriously to you now. What are you talking about?
Bed at night. You wake up every morning.
Sound as a rock.
With all the nonsense. All the nonsense are controlling everything. My friend, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Well, if you look, you believe in politics. You believe. I don't care what other people think, but like you basically think that all functioning democracies work in this country. There's no corruption. There's none of that sort of thing.
There is corruption.
Right. Okay.
In the world.
Yeah, but it's
just a spectrum. Right. Some countries there's more, in some countries there's less. And if you say UK is more corrupt than Russia, I'm sorry, man.
I think it's as corrupt. I think Western democracies. I think Western democracies are as corrupt as the East and everywhere else. I think it's just because that's the nature of democracy. It attracts the worst kind of people. It attracts, for people to vote, egotistic people, stuff like that. And you can see the swamp for it. I mean, we can both agree on that. Do you think, for example, Donald Trump? I'm not saying I'm a massive fan of Trump, but do you think he was done over in the 2020 election? Do you think he was? Yeah. Well, either way. But no, for the 2020 one, for Biden to be elected.
For Biden's election.
Yeah, do you think that was
rigged?
You don't think it was rigged at all?
And look, I'll give
Are you genuinely seriously trying to tell me that you don't think that it was rigged?
Hold on. But now those signs have been cleared off. Look up how Fox News has lost the.
I don't like Fox News.
Yeah, but they were one of the outlets who were slandering Biden, who were saying that the election is rigged and all that. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Look up how they lost the court case against, I think, Dominion, right? Dominion are the people who were one of the companies who were taking care of the voting, and they lost the court case, and they're gonna have to pay a bunch of billions.
Yes, I've heard this story. Yeah.
So this is proof. There was no actual voter fraud.
So you don't think that Trump was done over in 2020? That's quite.
No,
but
I think it's
okay. I'll be honest with you, Bab. I think you're being totally naive on that one. I think you're totally gullible. I think you're totally gullible on that. But we can't. It doesn't matter. There's no point talking about it because it's neither here nor there. So what will you come on? Like you've had the bravery to come here today with Face This. Do you want to come on UNN, Unity News Network, to debate with David Cruz? Why?
For one reason.
Why?
One reason only.
Go on.
I do not want to give you guys legitimacy.
Yeah, but no disrespect. No disrespect. Pav, no disrespect, but you're a fucking no one, mate. If anything, we're giving you legitimacy.
And to keep it that way.
Yeah, but I know, I can say I'm a fucking no one, but you seem to think that you've got this egotistic or whatever.
You can still remain a no one by turning your camera on and not having a name to it. You don't have to put a name to it. To come on UNN.
What's your point?
It means that you can still speak on UNN without being.
Yeah, but why don't you come on? You can. I'll tell you what. You can convert everyone. You come on UNN. The people who you think are confused. Yeah. You can come on. You can convert us all. You can put us in our place. You can come on.
It's not necessary for me to be this big celebrity to be able to give a good point. I'm sure you'll agree. Not only celebrities give good points.
You're not a celebrity, pal.
I'm not. I know I'm not. That's what I'm telling you.
We interview everyone. No, we interview anyone. Giving me an interview now. Why wouldn't you just do it on UNN?
I am giving you an interview, and I have invited David Clueless to have a conversation with me now. Did he come? No.
Okay, all right. Well,
he knows he can't take it. He knows he can't debate properly.
Well, we've invited you on the show, so I don't think he's
not going to go on Nutcase TV because that's going to give you guys legitimacy. If you guys come in the open in big numbers like this, sure, I'll face you. If you come to Speaker's Corner to debate me, no problem. I'll debate you. I'll debate you all day. But I'm not going to go on your, not on your program online or wherever it is, because that's going to give you legitimacy, and I don't want to.
You're not important enough to give us legitimacy. I'm not trying to insult you here, but you're just not important enough to give legitimacy.
My friend, you're missing my point completely. I don't have to be important to give you guys legitimacy.
Yeah.
What I have to do is to bring a good counterpoint. If I bring a counterpoint and you guys put it on your TV, and then you start editing the video.
No, we won't edit the video. We don't edit the video. It's a live stream. You can't edit it. It's a live stream. Well, I'm going to help you, Pav. I'm going to help you. I know you. Look, the point is, the point to take from this, Pav. The point to take.
And you guys have.
Pav. The point to take from this, Pav.
Works for RT. You guys, yes, there is.
Yeah, Anthony Webber used to be on. Anthony Webber used to.
You guys claim to be anti-socialist. You guys claim to be against this new world order, against fascism, blah blah blah. But you support authoritarianism by supporting a full-blown socialist here. He supported Jeremy supporters in this crowd, which I doubt. Sure, go ahead and support peace.
Yeah, but it's on the message of anti-war and other things. That's where we align. We don't agree with literally everything. We're not all clones of each other and believe the exact same thing.
I know you're
Pav, this is the take. I know you're desperate. You want to fight on the frontiers of Ukraine, yeah? I'm going to help you.
Ukraine, actually.
I'm going to help you.
Don't make any mistakes.
I'm going to help you join, yeah, Ukraine.
Right now, my friends.
But we can do it then. But instead of us stealing more of our money and sending it over there, right? But instead of all of our money, stolen money going over there, right?
You know well that not everyone can face the public and speak to the public. Like you can, because I've seen you speak to the public. I've seen David Cruz speak to the public. I think you guys don't have a single good argument, but you can speak to the public. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you're going to encourage. You're going to stay here.
Tell the public that This is insanity.
You're going to stay here on your pedestal and you're just going to encourage more war, more people die, more death, more death.
I'm encouraging people to end this war once and for all. Because as long as Putin is in power...
What about ceasefire, peace conference, ceasefire, peace conference ways? Or do you just want to annihilate the Russians?
No, I never wanted to annihilate the Russians.
But if you're not advocating for a peace talks, if you're not advocating for peace,
Russia should be balkanized into different countries to give every single ethnicity their own country, like the Chechens, who have fought against the Russians and who have been killed by the Russians, who have annexed them again. And also in Georgia, where the Russians did exactly the same thing they're doing in Ukraine right now. So we need to look at what we're dealing with. We need to look at what Russia has been doing. And we need to condemn that properly. Without any what about this, or what about the US, what about the UK. No. The point is, we need to step by beating Russia because they violated the Minsk agreements, they violated the Budapest memorandum, they're going to violate every single treaty that we make. That's how they are.
Okay, alright, okay, I think that's a fair enough thing. We'll just have to leave it at disagree about that. Thank you. Cheers. Thank you very much, We'll leave it at that. Cheers, thank you. Thank you. Right, that was with I think the #1 state intelligence operative, Pavlov, possibly, who knows. Hello, darling, you alright? You good? Yeah, good. Thanks, how are you? I'm good. Yeah, it's been brilliant. Sorry, I'm trying to live stream. Yeah, I am, yeah, thank you.
Sexy? Sweetie,
yeah?
you might find, I don't know, if you find use.
Yeah, I know. Thank you very much. I'll look into that. Steve, right? What's going on? What do you think of this? What do you think of this?
What do I think of this?
What do you think of this?
I think it's controlled opposition.
Oh, really?
I do.
Well, you know when you were exposed by Tommy Robinson, do you work for Hope Not Hate? Do you work for Hope Not Hate?
Regularly, if you want to call.
Well, you seem so. Yeah.
Why do you have a problem with that?
Well, because I think that they're basically the unofficial Gestapo of this country. The Checker.
Gestapo.
Yeah.
So what do they do? The Gestapo.
Well, basically they dox people. They put them on wanted lists. That's their state of hate. It's basically modern. It's the modern day.
Sean, do you agree with any of it?
I don't think it should exist. The state of hate.
But is there any
because it's the modern day wanted posters.
You agree with?
I haven't actually read it all, to be fair.
Read it.
But to say that, but I don't think it should exist.
It's an annual report.
I don't think it should exist though. So to answer your question, no, I'm not in agreement of it in the sense of it should exist. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. No, but it won't be because I don't agree that thing should exist.
Are there any extremists in society?
Yes, I would say so. Yes, but it depends. But who is deciding? Who is the extremists? So Hope Not Hate, for example, they are determining that UNN.
My company's house because they haven't submitted their financial reports. That's a bit of a worry, isn't it? What are they covering up?
I wouldn't know about that. I'm not in charge of the finances, so I wouldn't know about that. No idea.
You occasionally do a...
Yeah, yeah. No, that's what I mean. So.
You've got 4 apparently.
Okay, yeah.
In their last report.
Okay. Is this what Nick from Hope Not Hate shared with you?
No, it's what I searched online last week.
What have they got on you, Steve? Hope Not Hate. What have they got on you? What have they got on you? There's something to do with reform. Is there something to do with reform? Are you going to be a candidate for Reform UK? Are you going to be one? What, this election? What about the council elections?
There aren't council elections where I am.
Okay then.
Why would you say, do they have something on you? Why do they need something on you?
Well, I was actually being cross and joking, but that was but you took it seriously. So I'm worrying now. I'm worrying now that they got something on you.
Mate, he was extra rude to me earlier.
Oh really? Yeah.
He was effing and blindly saying I'm a fat ugly cunt. I was shocked. I didn't get the camera.
Oh no. I'm sorry if that hurt you.
Anthony Webber's the paid employee of Russia Today.
He was on RT, I know that. Yeah, he was on RT. But do you think?
He's not truly independent.
But do you think it's right that RT was banned? Russia Today. That's Russia.
If they breached the Oscom regulations, then yes.
What did they breach?
I don't know.
I don't. Yeah, but I guess.
Breached the Oscom regulations.
What? Because they spoke in support of Putin, for example. Because that. Do you think that's a bit worrying, though? Do you think that we're living in a bit of a soft kind of tyrannical, soft sort of fascistic sort of? Yeah. Well, there's always different types of spectrum.
Russia and we're down here.
Yeah, but that's what everyone always says, though.
That's the reality.
But that's what they say. They go,
it's the truth.
No, that's what they go. Oh, we're not as bad as North Korea. It's like, yeah, I'm not saying we're as bad as North Korea, but we're still on the spectrum. We're still in that authoritarian, tyrannical spectrum. We are. I think we are.
We were under lockdown. I'll give you that. Outside of lockdown, we are not.
Yeah, but they can pretty much just bring lockdown back at the drop of a hat if they want to.
You and I would completely agree with
that. Yeah, but to the fact that they've done that, haven't they showed?
People can agree with one another on some things and disagree vehemently on other things.
That's just like human nature.
Make them a fascist.
That's human
nature.
This guy's a grass.
This is all for UNN.
This guy's a grass. This guy works for the security services.
I work for the security services.
He works for Holding On You.
Whose lives have I ruined? Whose lives have I ruined?
You work with him. I don't.
I talk to them. I don't work. Who am I from? Name names. Back it up. Who? Name names.
A big gossip. A big gossip. Like a tea lady.
Who am I from?
Talking to them. You talk to one.
Nick now.
It's another class. Well, another scumbag. Ruins people's lives. They call people Nazis. They call people fascists. They get them to.
I've been called a Nazi today because I have Ukrainian jobs. That's what you're doing. I've been called a Nazi today simply for holding a Ukrainian flag. I hold you responsible. Yes, you're no protest. I'm a do as the boss says, Sean. Do as the boss says. Talking to someone, jog along, Sean, and do as you told.
What about a Mars bar I can stick in your mouth?
Is that the only place you'd like to stick?
Be careful, because Hope Not Hate might be calling you, mate. You might have to turn off that camera. Go on, yeah. What's up?
I'm saying, let's go and ask that guy what to talk about.
He did. I think he said that. He said he wants to do it. Yeah. He said you didn't want to talk to him. He said to me on the camera, he said he's asked to talk to you, but you don't want to talk to him. So, let's see. Pav!
Where's Saraj?
He's there. Yeah. Well, wait till he's done. I think.
I don't think it's a fair point. This guy
he said David doesn't want to come on UNM because he doesn't want to give it legitimacy. He calls it crazy TV or wacko news or something like that. He calls it.
Some people might say the same about the BBC.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Sorry. Is it? I've got David here. David says you said you wanted to chat with him. Do you want to come in, David? And like have a conversation.
Face each other head on. You should talk.
We'll do it behind. Hang on. Like that. What's that? Quieter. Well, I think he wants to. No, he wants to. He likes being. He's an egotistic person. He needs to be above everyone else. Come here, Bav.
to be the flag.
Hello, darling. You alright? Pav, do you want to do it over here? Because you want to do it over here?
No problem. They're all busy with other flags.
Because it's just a bit. You can be equal height and all that sort of stuff, rather than pedestal. The pedestal.
Regardless of whether it's a treaty or not.
Yeah. Well, there. Yeah. Well, I think. So,
red line that was.
What?
I don't think so.
It's very diplomatic, monsieur.
And the Russians
Yeah.
didn't see that as a red line.
So have I introduced you? Have you guys? Sorry,
they could get away.
Sorry, Pav, to interrupt there. No way to. Have you ever met? So this is David Clues, Pavlov.
Always important to face opposition, to speak with the opposition.
Well, I mean, I don't regard you as my opposition. I don't have any skin in the game. I'm not Ukrainian. I'm not Russian.
Well, it looks like you have some skin in the game now.
It's not our war.
Not your war.
No.
Why do you think it's not?
Because there's lots of wars going on in the world. Should I get involved in all of them? Should I get involved in the Israel-Palestine conflict? Should I get involved in the Sudanese conflict? Should I get involved in the China versus the Uyghur conflict? Should I get involved in the Shining Path conflict in Peru?
China versus Taiwan conflict?
Nothing to do with
don't want to involve in that. No problem. But any of those conflicts, did they make any previous agreement with the UK to prevent their borders from being attacked by a different country? Any of those countries? Sudan?
Ukraine made an agreement with the UK? When?
Budapest Memorandum. When Ukraine was
1991.
when Ukraine was part of the biggest nuclear demilitarization in human history, and the US and the UK offered some assurances to Ukraine that their borders were not going to be, encroached upon by the Russians.
We also promised we wouldn't expand eastward into Europe, didn't we?
No, you Russians. No, you didn't. What's this treaty you're talking about?
Promise we wouldn't. I mean, the Budapest Memorandum
That was never a treaty. We would go to war to defend Ukraine? No, it was an agreement to help Ukraine keep sovereignty over their borders.
Okay. And did we do that by sending them weapons, sending them money? Why?
Because Ukraine can take back their borders, the borders that the British and the US people have promised. The border means the limit of the jurisdiction of a certain country. That's the border.
Okay, but surely a people make a country, not a line down an arbitrary line that's been created on that.
Not arbitrary.
The problem is the east of Ukraine, 2014, before that said, they don't really want to be part of the rest of Ukraine. They are two very, very different. They have a different culture, they have different languages, they have different religions, they have different mindsets. This is not one united, homogenous country. There are big regional variations. And this happens in countries and conflicts throughout the world. We've had issues here closer to home, the Republic of Ireland, Northern Ireland as well, and it's resulted in war.
Still an issue.
But
again,
that's on our doorstep. Ukraine isn't on our doorstep.
It's not.
It's in Europe, which we're part of.
It's not on our doorstep in terms of European geography. Yeah. But in terms of world geography, it definitely is. Europe is a smaller continent than people give it credit for. Because of how maps are put. Because it's actually a globe. Europe is actually much smaller than it looks on the map. So UK to Ukraine is relatively close in the big picture. But the point is, the Budapest Memorandum still mentions support. And that's the support that the British are giving. I don't think the British are overextending their support.
We're giving weapons, we're giving money, and it's really not our war. And as you say every time, no offence, but what is a war in Ukraine got to do with me?
What does it have to do with you personally?
Yeah.
Or with the British people?
Or with the British people in general. It's absolutely nothing.
Okay,
no,
not with you personally.
The two are totally different. Second World War, the parallels are nonsense.
Which side of the Second World War? Russian side or ours?
I'm not debating with you.
I know, because I'm an ugly cow.
Steve.
Yeah.
Achi.
Don't worry about it. Comparisons are completely different. It's actually quite childish to go back to the Second World War. This is 2023. It's not 1913.
Wait, what are you talking about?
That's an argument for us to get involved in. Is Putin going to march on Paris? Is he going to march on Belgium? Everyone knows that's just nonsense.
I guess
that's just not true. It's just propaganda. It's nonsense.
Steve,
he's not going to march on any of these countries.
Steve, don't give anyone the excuse to say they've been double teamed in the
government said senior official with the
Anyway, don't give any excuses to say that there's some double teaming, there's big noise, blah blah blah. Let's just have a civil conversation. It's not a rule. The Budapest memorandum is as far as from an emotional argument as it gets. It's a specific treaty. Okay, so you're supporting your country to break the treaties that it has signed in the past. You're supporting it.
It's in our interest too.
So hold on, who's going to trust your country? Do you understand the importance of international relations between countries?
No, because we are the United Kingdom of Great Britain now. Ukraine is a corrupt country.
My friend, do you understand the importance of international relations? You see interest in maintaining good international relations?
I'm not a fan of the international rule-based orders. I believe in this country first.
You're a full-blown isolationist.
Yeah.
Complete isolation. You do realize you need most of the resources you get from abroad.
Oh, yeah, and you do business with people who still buy, like, for example, your president is still buying oil from Russia, pretending he's not. What do you think about that?
I think that we're running away from the main argument right now.
Zelensky's buying Russia from oil from Russia.
My friend, we need to talk about the actual topic that we're talking about here, about the war in Ukraine. Is it? We're going to talk about Zelensky being an actor in the past and say that that's a foolproof point that he's a bad president. Ronald Reagan was an actor. I don't see any of you guys saying, "Oh no, evil Ronald Reagan." What I want to ask you is something simple. Which side are you actually on? Are you on the side of this country, or are you on the side of foreign nations who try to destabilize
the state is in this country?
I understand the reasons why people went into Ukraine. I think to say that this is a completely uncalled for war to simply isn't true. There's been the bombing of the Donbass and Luhansk region by the Ukrainian government since 2014. We're facing bombardment, we're facing attack. And these people have asked to be helped. Now, should he have gone in? Probably not. I'm against war. I don't believe in. I don't believe in wars. I'm not justifying. I'm just saying. Can
sounds like a
why.
justification.
No, these people do bad. What
to say why is a justification. You're literally justifying why he invaded Ukraine.
Correct. I'm telling you.
So you are justifying it then. Okay, look, let's not get into semantics too much.
But your best pals now with Britain and America.
My best
Britain and America have gone around the world and bombed countries and invaded countries with impunity.
Okay, Britain and America have had some bad interventions, but they've also had some very good interventions. You agree with that?
Yes.
Some very good interventions Britain and America have had.
Probably since World War II, no. None.
Really? The first war in Iraq, you wouldn't say it was a good intervention?
Nothing to do with us.
Not the first.
To do with the people of this country. Nobody.
You know they had treaties with Kuwait. They were allies with Kuwait. You have to respect your treaties, or else the other countries will not respect your country.
I believe in putting this country first, the people of this country first, and that's it.
Okay, so your whole argument rests on Russia is not going to invade us anytime soon, so we should not help Ukraine.
Correct.
Right. Do you understand that the situation in Europe and in the world, especially economically, is being destabilized because of this?
It's being destabilized because of the West's response to it. The war would be over by now when it's all pumped full of money.
You're sure of that? You don't think the Ukrainians would wage a guerrilla war against the Russians?
I'm sure there would have been a peace settlement now.
You don't understand the Ukrainian people?
NATO have pumped millions and millions of dollars, weapons, and everything to this war. They could have had a peace deal by now. The thing is as well, see my position. My position is the position that's held by the majority of people in this world, apart from the West.
Sure.
China. It's the most populous country in the world.
A lot of people are fleeing China right now. Never thought you would start defending China, but that's interesting.
South America.
The Brazilian president does not represent their people. Now, I know the Brazilians better than most people. I've known many. I mean, look, you don't see you don't see any of the government in the UK as representatives of the UK. I know what you guys believe. You don't see them as your representatives. So suddenly you say
that's not the world.
Represents Brazil.
That's not the world. The world doesn't stand for UK.
I think we're kind of deviating.
Drive through villages in rural
The point is, hold on. The point is,
trying to emotionally blackmail.
I'm not emotionally blackmailing you at all. I'm making you a reasonable argument about international agreements, not about emotions. I don't remember making a point to you that, oh, you know, people are dying, we need to help. No, I never even mentioned this. So you telling me that I'm making an emotional argument is an ad hominem immediately. So it shows you running out of arguments, sorry to say. But the point is, in this situation, UK is not under immediate threat from Russia by tomorrow. But why is it that Eastern European countries like Poland, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, and Finland now have joined NATO? Why is it that those countries are so afraid of Russia? They're stupid. Every single one of them is stupid. You support Russia, but you don't respect the decision of the countries.
Like Turkey.
I could say that every BRICS country is giving their sovereignty to China. What would you say to that?
I'd say they're working in tandem with China because China don't actually expect countries to buckle under the pressure the way the Americans do. So this is the thing.
I see you don't know how China
what Ukraine have
does
done,
international
what Ukraine have done
relations.
is they will not be an independent sovereign country now because they're in the US sphere of influence. And the Americans will just rape Ukraine. They'll rape it. They'll have BlackRock in, they'll have all Vanguard,
The
they'll have all the
satanic
corporations
US, right?
It is the satanic US. It is the great Satan. America's a horrible country. Nobody likes the Americans anymore. And Ukraine have power. Ukraine have power. That's what this is all about.
You know, sorry to say, but in modern days, in our days, to say we're going to de-satanize a country, we're attacking this country because it's satanic.
I don't think
it's a modern day. It's a modern day witch hunt.
I don't think
it's a modern.
satanic.
That's what the Russians are saying about the Ukrainians,
Well, as I said,
and that's what you were saying
I-
about the US,
I
and that's what
don't
the
believe
Russians are saying about the US.
Weber, who's on that payroll. That's why.
But that's a good point, though. That's a good point. You have some people here working with you who work for RT, and you call yourself
I don't think
unbiased.
they work for RT. I think they do programs with RT. I don't
okay,
actually know
okay.
the
Semantics.
Potato.
People work for the BBC. Which is
Apparently I work for Home Not Hate.
Yeah, the BBC is not fully funded by the British government without having any freedom to criticize the British government. In Russia, you literally cannot criticize the government, or else you go to jail.
we shouldn't give any weapons. We shouldn't give any money to Zelensky.
Okay, we're going back to the first.
If anything, I would actually say, you know, this is a shame. I feel bad for them, but why should we give them their weapons and our money?
To defend themselves from a Russian invasion.
Yeah, but why should we do that with every country that gets defended?
Because Ukraine was part of the Budapest Memorandum, and the British have promised the Ukrainians to help.
Okay.
You have support to Russia as well. Why are you not supporting Russia?
Well, because I'm not a Russian.
He does.
So you think I
can
do
send,
support Russia?
I'm pretty sure you do. I've seen a bunch of Russian flags in your rally.
There's parts of Russia I like, there's parts of Putin's policy I agree with, but I don't think it's a great country. I don't think it's the panacea. But what I'm saying is it's complicated, and it's really nothing to do with us. It's complicated because this war has been going on since 2014, and there was a violent revolution in 2014 where the democratically elected leader was overthrown because it was pro-Russia. He was overthrown by the CIA, the European Union, and other bodies. That's what happened in 2014.
What do you know about the president that was
Yanukovych. Well, I'm sure he wasn't the nicest guy in the world, but he was still overthrown in a violent revolution.
Where did he run to afterwards?
Where should I even start with Yanukovych? Let me give you a little bit of a crash course on Yanukovych, because I think this is useful information for the debate whether or not he was legitimate. Viktor Yanukovych tried to get elected in the previous election, in which he won, but he was caught doing voter fraud. And so the victory was given
in the United States of America.
So that what aboutism, my friend? What aboutism? You need to face. My friend. You need to face the allegations first before you jump to a different argument. America is a different point. I'm giving you a bit of a crash course on Viktor Yanukovych.
I know he's not a nice
Could you
guy.
just let me finish about Viktor Yanukovych?
Why should I give him money?
My point is, he was not democratically elected. He was a fraudster, and it was proven that he was a fraudster. And in the peaceful protests, in the his security started shooting those guys, and then it became fine.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? Ukraine can't exist anymore as a united country. Back to its borders before 2014. It's too bitter, it's too far gone. Only way out of this is for these countries to go to Russia and the rest of it to do what it wants.
Go to Russia.
That's it.
That's like a big assumption, and a lot of
That's what's going to
defeaters.
happen. That's what's going to happen.
But that's not a point. Why should we not support Ukraine?
Because there's going to be millions of, not millions, there's going to be thousands of young men dead.
Oh, is it? So suddenly you care about the Ukrainians.
I do actually.
You do actually?
I do.
So hold on. A while ago you said you don't care. Why should we care about the Ukrainians? Why should we send them weapons? Now you're saying I still care about them.
Care about life.
If you care about them, why would you have them join Russia? A country who has attempted to exterminate the Ukrainians in the past, in the two Holodomors. In two Holodomors, the Russians have attempted an extermination of the Ukrainians.
That's what's going to happen. It's the China plan.
Make a
That's going to happen.
The China plan.
This part of
it's very
Ukraine
vague.
Will
it's
go
very
to
vague,
Russia.
the China plan.
This
it's not
part
specific.
will be a demilitarized country. That's what's going to happen.
My friend, the Chinese have not given a very specific plan.
Ukraine is not going to win this war.
You sure of that?
Yes.
The biggest, the last few biggest engagements in Ukraine. You know the last few big engagements.
Well, when Russia moved back and allowed Ukrainians back in.
They allowed the Ukrainians back in.
Okay, here's a question. Why aren't you right now? Why aren't you there right now?
Oh, here we go. The classic.
But why? Why aren't you?
The classic question.
Why aren't you in
The classic question. Well, that's a good question too.
Country, you moron.
No, but you don't believe in countries. You don't believe in the sovereignty of this country.
You told us that
so you're being a
20
complete hypocrite right now.
No, I'm not.
It's
I said because a border is an arbitrary piece of land.
Oh, is it?
Arbitrary, but not arbitrary what you
Is it an arbitrary piece of land? I don't think the Russians see it as an arbitrary piece of land.
Why aren't you over there? I don't mean that as an
Okay, a
insult.
few reasons. First of all, I'm a Portuguese citizen.
Okay.
And there's been some issues with the international legion in Ukraine, you know, they're...
We'll help you, Pav. Join.
Sean. Secondly of all, I have no military experience.
Neither do the young men getting sent to Bakhmut to die.
Some of them do, some of them don't. And by the way, most of the people in Bakhmut are very experienced. There's almost no one getting sent there as a fresh recruit. Only the Russians do that, I'm afraid. Only the Russians send waves and waves of meat to the meat grinder, of cannon fodder, straight forward to die. And the third point is, I find it very interesting that you, a person who encourages people not to send their tax money to Ukraine, a country that this country has promised to help, because you don't want to send them your tax money, and yet you're telling some to the taxpayer to go to Ukraine.
No, I never said to go. That's why.
Okay, fair enough. It's just a question. It's just a question. And yet I have seen some of the people in this rally telling me that you should go back to Ukraine.
Well, I think if people really feel that strongly about it, then they should. Well, and you're on the front line.
I think you can contribute.
Put your words where your mouth on.
By the way, I'm sure you realise that as a public speaker yourself.
The West are not Ukraine's friends. Ukrainians think they are. I guarantee you the same thing will happen to Zelensky, that happened to Saddam, that happened to Bin Laden, that happened to Gaddafi, that happened to Assad. Remember they were all pals with the West at one point. Throw Zelensky under the bus when it suits them, and they'll throw the Ukrainian people under the bus when it suits them, and they'll be left bitter like the people in Iraq, the people in Libya and all these other countries. Because that's what the Western regime does. It's parasitical, they don't give a shit. Like
How do we save them? How do we save each other?
Maybe we should start talking about some things that Russia has done, just to make sure that Russia is not going to attack anyone else. We just allow them to have Ukraine. So you know that before the Russians have invaded Ukraine, they've also invaded Georgia, Kazakhstan, and Belarus.
I know nobody sent weapons, not involved then. There was no NATO proxy war.
No, there was no need of a proxy war.
Yeah, because
what's a proxy war for you?
A proxy war is when the Americans and the President Sharp were brave enough to take the Russians on themselves, so they sent Ukrainian men into the meat grinder and arm them to
I'm asking for the official definition. That's what proxy war is. You're missing a very important part of what it means. A proxy war is your war that's specifically by the side that's supporting the side that's fighting. I'm sure you would say, oh, CIA did it, CIA did it. But that's absolutely
the Minsk agreements were a lie as well. The Minsk agreements were a lie.
Minsk agreements were violated by Russia, just like the Budapest Memorandum.
They're not the good guys. I'm not saying Putin's the good guy. They're not the good guys either.
So who are the good guys?
Everyday people.
Everyday
That's
people.
us. That's us.
No country is good, in your opinion.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Okay, so you're an isolationist anarchist.
No, it's true. It's true, Papa. It's true.
You
It's
don't
true.
believe in leadership. That's anarchy.
I see what it is. He slurs that he
My friend,
says.
that's anarchism.
It's only us now, Papa. It's only us.
And what I'm saying is that the poor people in Ukraine, everyday people, are being used as pawns.
They are. They are.
Rishi Sunak's
We've got to stand together, brothers. Stand together.
Isn't sending his sons. It's young Ukrainian men and women that are on these front lines that are having to die.
We're all cannon fodder to them.
What exactly your
We're cannon fodder.
ideology is.
I'm only here because I'm just like,
And I struggle to see
for the grace of God, they leave me stand here.
humanity. Because it seems to me like you don't like any government, you don't like any country, especially the UK.
No, we love you, but how do we save each other?
What do you want for the future? Just collapse of all governments?
No.
What?
Well, I don't think it's going
We just want the globalists to leave us all alone.
All alone? That means a collapse of all governments.
No, that's not true. That's a myth.
No, is it a
How do you think the countries existed before government? Kings and queens were not anarchists. You're a
And
king.
you have a
man.
socialist
You're a
king
king.
over there.
You're a king. We're all kings and queens. What happened before government?
This country's
What happened before
socialist.
government?
No one is a king.
Yeah, but what happened? I know what you're going for. If I could come to your country and stop all the war tomorrow, I would. But how do we stop it now?
By beating the Russian military. Kicking them out of Ukraine. Let me give you a crash course of the latest in the war in Ukraine. You know, this latest escalation actually, because as you say, the war started all the way in 2014.
If the Americans
Americans loved us, they wouldn't be having this war. It would have stopped. The Americans could stop the war. The Americans stop the war. You know you can stop it. You're leaving people get killed. Americans
No,
can't stop the war.
it's not seen, I
to stop the war, especially if the aggressor who refuses to stop the war. It's never going to be stopped until the aggressor is beaten. And that is exactly what Putin is doing. Yes,
no, you can't.
Ukraine is doing it right now. All we need is the help of you fine ladies and gentlemen to have Russia beat in Ukraine.
They will not let that happen.
They've been letting that happen for a whole year now.
They don't have the will.
Special military operation is becoming more and more special by the day. And they're still dying.
People are dying and losing their arms, they're losing their legs.
If I could handle it without any people dying from the whole night, we need to live in the reality. We need to see things how they are. Russia has violated the Budapest Memorandum. They have violated the Minsk Agreement. They keep making lies and excuses for why they're going to invade Ukraine. What about this? What about this? What about this? This is something used by the Soviets. Every single time the Soviets would be called out, something bad they did, they would say, what about the US? What about
Yes, that was it. Yeah. I can't remember the name in my head. Selective expansion. I always mispronounce it. Bit of a tongue twister.
There was no guys
and I'm not 77.
What about if we all went to Ukraine? All of us with our camping bags.
But some people,
Oh, you just made
is better than the other
clean
side.
comment. I don't know if it's 77 or not. Who knows? I know. Who really knows?
Stepan Bazar. Let's talk about Stepan Bazar.
They're not angels. I'm not saying we're bad. I'm just saying we're bad. We did bad things. Bombing of Dresden, other things.
Platitudes, my friend, all platitudes. Everyone has done some bad things, everyone. But some sides have done a lot more harm. And this is how we need to see the world. A lot worse than the West.
The Rhine Wiesen lagers. What about the Rhine Wiesen lagers?
But nobody else does that.
You're in an echo chamber in Ukraine. You should have seen some of the Ukrainian rallies. They're 10 times bigger than most.
German soldiers, Americans, in this meadowlands outside the Rhine.
More countries are joining NATO as we speak.
Same thing. Same thing.
The West is dying.
No.
Is it?
The West is dying.
What is that based on?
German soldiers went back to their families and started protesting.
Okay, that's not racist at all. That's not racist at all. All Americans are lazy, stupid,
Generalizing.
You are generalizing. You are generalizing. And look, this explains your defeatism. This explains your defeatism. You know, I saw a very funny meme. On one side, we see like a rainbow tank saying, they, them, army. On the other side, we see a destroyed tank saying, was worse, army, with a Russian flag. This is, my friend, this is all propaganda. You guys are brainwashing yourself.
Let's just see how things play out in a year's time.
Ukraine is winning this war.
Let's get back in a year's time. Let's get back in a year's time and see what's happening.
What do you mean, let's come back?
Let's stand here in a year's time.
In a year's time, we'll all be digital. The G5 network is up for extreme complete control, mind control, digital control, financial control.
Unfortunately, most people, well done, David. Because unfortunately, a lot of people do. But there you go. I didn't care. What was the final outcome? I missed all that one. I got to wind back. I was talking to someone.
Somebody took the video of it, didn't they? You mean the interview?
The interview?
Sorry, David was talking to that young Ukrainian.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. No, I was here the whole time. I missed like the last 2 minutes of it. No, I can rewind it back anyway. Yeah, Milgram.
The Milgram one,
Yeah, I said they just can't blindly follow the orders because that's what they do. I know, but most people unfortunately do. That's the worrying thing. You asking? Oh, sorry, I think you're off. You're right. How you doing, man? You alright? You good? Yeah. I'm alright. I'm good.
That was interesting.
That was.
I couldn't hear what you were saying though, but maybe that was alright too. I'm not a war person. I don't know exactly everything that anybody else knows about NATO. But that was interesting.
Do you guys know where this poll is that
say it, and now I'm afraid.
Do they say the Shandos do it?
Something like that.
Yeah, it's up there. It's up, if you go all the way up to Trafalgar Square and take a right, and it's like that pub like leading up to Leicester Square in the corner. Shandos, at West End. At the West End.
Are you going joining them?
I will do. I'm just going to keep live streaming, and I'll just wind it down.
Oh, yeah.
But you got this evening too.
I'm going this evening, so
Well, it's live streaming. I didn't hear the last bit, so I didn't know what was the last parting words were.
I couldn't hear any of it, so
it's alright.
I'll watch it later.
What was the last parting words of what David?
But where's David now?
I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to have a little wander around still, and then, probably the Shandos pub. I think people are going to the Shandos pub. You know, the one down there. Like, you know it,
There's
right?
any pub gathering after this?
I think it's the Shandos. Well, in the evening there is an East Ham.
Oh,
but
no, but
there
I
is
saw
now.
that yesterday. It was like a big
Someone
US
just said the Shandos to me. So the Shandos pub, that's the one. We might do. I don't know. You need to ask him.
Well, you don't work with him.
Oh, I work with him, like, as in, like, I support what he does when I do a show.
Yesterday, it was like a big gathering in a pub, like massive people.
Possibly, yeah. But yeah, I do a show. I broadcast from his channel. Occasionally. Yeah.
The problem is people don't like it.
Yeah,
we never know.
Yeah. Well, I know some people are a bit. I know people are sometimes shy on TV, on camera. I know that. Yeah. That's just nature. That's just human nature. Let's see that, Lance. Let's see that. You fashioned your walking stick with a sign on it, and is the noose going around Sunak or Zelensky or both?
It's just there, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just there. It's just a coincidence.
Actually, I hadn't spotted that.
I actually believe you. I think you're being honest. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Look, he's been called
Did you see the mistress that making ice cream?
Oh no, I know her. Yeah.
Is she nuts?
Everyone's just like,
Get in there and sort it out.
You're right. How did you find that, David?
Yeah, it was fine. I mean, it's just the same standard arguments they have.
Yeah.
And
I don't think you're going to convince Pavlov, mate, because he's like the number one guy in it, shitting it all the time.
It's like more people are just going to keep dying until somebody gives over. And the only people they need to give over, it's the Ukrainians. They need to sit down. I mean, that's, again, they hate to hear this. That's what everyone else in the world says. Like, the world is not America, Finland. I mean, the world's a big place.
I would just say, look, mate, you put up a good fight, Ukrainians, but come on, mate. This is like, we're at university grade, and you're at kindergarten. You're just entering the kindergarten, saying you do put up a gallant thing, but just stop it now. Just stop it like that. Like, this is just embarrassing.
They'll keep going until they're all dead. I mean, that's. I think there's like a psychosis.
Well, I'm going to help. I'm going to help Pavlov now because I know he really wants to get out there and start killing some Russians. Yeah. So he said there's a bit of a problem because I'm Portuguese nationalist. He says I can't join, and also I'm not a trained soldier. It's like, don't worry. They trained me when I was in the TA as well. I knew fuck all. And they'll train you. That's the whole point. So I'm going to help. I'm going to start a campaign, David. Let's help Pav get. Cause he really wants to go there. He really wants to fight for Ukraine. Yeah. So I'm going to help this guy.
It's as well. Like, it's like all fights, all wars. Like, see when you actually sit down the cold light of day, you're like, what's that all about?
Yeah.
And it's people don't go to war with each other. Countries and
Governments, states do with each other. The state officials go to war. Yeah.
That's what happens.
See, what I don't like is that Pavlov encourages people to go and fight, whether it's give more money or go and actually go there yourself, right, and fight. Yeah. He's no different to the mainstream politicians who start wars and then never send their children. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I said that. What I think will happen is Ukrainians will turn round eventually and they'll say, fuck that.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time it gets to the upper echelons, and then they're like, oh, okay.
Realize soon enough that it's all been for nothing.
Yeah, okay, cool. Well, thanks very much, David, for that. It's been great event, by the way, great everything. Hopefully the start of one of many, hopefully. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Which pub are they going to, do you know?
I think someone said the Shandos. The sound there.
Up that way?
Yeah, I think so.
Do we think they take cash?
I don't know. I know the Green King one does, but I don't know whether that one does.
All right, Shandos.
I'm not 100% sure. See you later, mate. I'll save it. I think it was Shandos, but we'll confirm. Whether that's true or not. You right, mate? That's Sammy Slice. Yeah, you right? You good?
Back in the game.
Yeah.
Should I bring any ladders to the party tonight? Because I hear the beer's on the house.
That's fucking terrible. That was terrible. Don't ever repeat that joke again. That was so bad. It was just. I feel like I died a little bit inside after I've heard it. Yeah, never say that joke again. Yeah. What's going on? Right, what's going on? What's going on? How did you find the music?
I love fucking, what's his name on the guitar?
Daz? Or Chris? I don't know, what one? Yeah?
Chris and
yeah. That one, yeah?
Yeah, it was a good day. We've been down here with Simon. He has his protest.
So you're in there with him occasionally?
Yeah, support him, and he's on his own a lot of the time, so like it's, you have to support your brothers and sisters.
Yeah, that's another thing, guys. You come and support Simon. Come and support Simon, because he's usually by himself. That's him there. Tall fella. Yeah, come and help him, or send him some money, send him some food, or whatever. You can send him technically, you can send delivery drivers, like Uber.
Come down and see us.
Yeah.
If you're in London, you're around, whatever else, come down. Just pass by. And this is all about showing support and moving forward, and people understand that we're united together. Before 6 months ago, people would be spitting at us, telling us we're going to kill somebody. Now people are walking past with their thumbs up. And because it's London, we have from 4 different nations. We're playing music here till 4 a.m. in the morning to the armed police across the road. And this music, all of it, and we've talked to the police, we've had great responses from them. As I always say, if they take their hats off and come on our side, we'll pay them double when we get back control of what was meant to be a democracy, the corporatocracy.
Yeah.
So, come down. Big size on Box Clever Army.
Box Clever Army. And you're Monkey Magic News. So if some of the mods, maybe, or anyone, doesn't have to be a mod, can put maybe a link, Monkey Magic News, it's on YouTube. And
we're uploading
Telegram, Box Clever Army on Telegram and Instagram. Yeah, so, and TikTok, I think. So if people can, it's up to you. It's up by, don't worry if you can't. But yeah, there you go. Thanks, Keith. Yeah.
A refreshment.
I've actually got a drink here. I've got a drink here. I might open it. It's a bit warm now. It's all warm. I mean, it's next to my arse all day. So there you go. Anyway, cheers. Thank you. It reminded me that I had it. Yeah, cheers. Thanks, mate. All right. Cool, cheers. Thank you. Take care. So yeah, it's winding down, guys. I think people are sort of head off. Now there's going to be a big event later, guys. Big music event. Please do come down if you're local to East Ham and East London. It's the Denmark Arms in East Ham. Upstairs, we got the whole venue upstairs. It's free entry. It's Sir Roger's birthday. Actual coverage is his birthday. He's 40. It's his 40th basically. So come down, support him. He doesn't want people to know it's his birthday, but I'm saying it. Yeah, it's his 40th birthday. Okay, it's a big thing for him. Look at him. He's confused. He's like a confused thing. Who's that? You alright? What's going on? You alright? Right, beautiful. What's going on? You get your t-shirt? You get your t-shirt? You got it? Oh, fantastic. You got it. Cool. There you go. We got, what was it? Not our war one or defend our borders? What was it?
You know what? I
haven't looked at it.
I actually got a medium stupidly, which was, I was in a bit of a rush, I was leaving, and I need to get a small
you going to the evening event in East Ham? East Ham? Are you going to it?
As you know, I was feeling like
I know. And I know it's all the way the other side of London for you. Maybe we'll see. No. Are you going, Charlie? Are you going to East Ham later at the Denmark Arms? What? No, I mean like later this evening in East Ham, East London. Are you going to the Denmark Arms? It's a big event, big freedom music event. It's free entry and stuff. Yeah. It's 6 p.m. but I think the event starts at 7 p.m. if you know what I mean. So 7 p.m, 6 p.m, whatever. Denmark Arms. I'm ranging it. So like everyone. Yeah.
Any postcode?
Yeah. It's on my Telegram. Go on my Telegram channel. You'll see it. Delivering Liberty. Yeah, you'll see the posters for it eventually. Just go into photos, you'll find it. Actually, it's a new one there today. Actually, I put it there today. So it gives all the details where it is. The nearest station is East Ham on the District line. That's the nearest station. So come down, guys. Come down later. No, next one up. This one. So that, and then also that's it starts. The open mic starts at 7, but the people are getting there from 6. Are you going to that? Are you going to East Ham? Bongo Nick's going to be there, and his bongos. He's going to be there performing. Daz as well from the Light newspaper, and 99% son. He's going to be there as well. So Chris is going to be there. Chris. So anything that you want.
Sounds like it's going to be a good night, man. Where is it? In East Ham? What was it, like 7 or so? I'll tell you what, right, I'll be honest with you, I was this close to not coming, and then I saw that video of David saying that they put Extinction Rebellion mode, and I was like, fuck this guy. It's been placed anywhere that they think that we're going to go.
The police are about it. Come down, guys, come down, please do come down. Share that around as well, you can. Share that around, yeah. Right, I'll go with a little mingle. I might have to go back and I go to the pub for one, Jando's pub on the road there, on the drinking one, the one around the corner, the west section, Jando's, so I think we're going there.
Funny guy.
Well, I do like mushrooms. I'm a fun guy. A shroomin' being. Yeah.
I'd rather be a shroomin' than a slave.
I would rather be a shroomin' than a slave. I would rather be a shroomin'. Rather be a shroomin'. Right. Anyway, I think I'm gonna. Should I close the stream, guys? Guys, like I said, if you did like this event, Not Our War, follow UNN. We do literally a news show every single day of the week. 2 during the weekdays and 1 on the weekends. So every day on 12 noon and 7 p.m. on weekdays, and just 7 p.m. on weekends. So we'll be on tonight. I don't know whether David's going to get back to Glasgow on time to do the show. I imagine someone's going to cover him, or maybe not. Maybe he's hardcore. Maybe he'll do a show tonight. But he usually does Saturdays. He'll definitely do it tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is the big show. Every Sunday is the big show. So watch us from tomorrow, and then Monday, Tuesday as well. He does it well. So he does Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And I personally do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays on at 12 noon, from 12 noon. So there we go. I'll tell you what, let's go speak to Anthony. Anthony, you alright? How did you find the event?
Are we filming?
Yeah. How did you find the event?
It was actually very good in the end because we were slightly pessimistic to start with because we'd had to, due to circumstances, change the event.
What was wrong? What was wrong around the front? Because remember we said the front, and then
I think David initially thought we might have to go there.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we managed to negotiate being here.
Yeah.
And that's been very good.
Which I think is better because obviously the protest pen, you got this great backing.
Yeah.
So it was just right. It was good optics to see it. Not our war banner whilst people were talking. All right. Are you doing it right? Well, what did you think of the? No, so I think David gave it to Piers. It doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Don't worry. Yeah. It was quite funny in the speech. He gave it to Piers, and Piers is going to wear it. So Piers is his own #1 fan.
Alan.
Yeah, Alan.
Together.
Alan, it's Gold Eagle. Who's presenting the show tonight?
There isn't one.
There just isn't one. What?
David said no.
What? You have to do it. You're the slave of UNN. You have to do it.
I am not the slave. I am the bitch.
The bitch. Sorry. Sorry. May I retract that? I do apologise. The bitch of UNN. You need to get back to Cardiff Stat and do that show, or else, and carry all the equipment and everything. Okay?
And with no lubrication as well.
Yeah. No lubrication. No, yeah. So anyway, what did you find it? What do you think of it, Anthony? Overall?
Well, in the end, we had two extra speakers. One on the anti-NATO and one opinion on not being involved with this conflict. So I think that went very well. I think that's going to mean we've broken the ice and we'll have a bit of cooperation with other groups. So although it's been small, we could have had more because would you believe quite a lot of people turned up when the speeches were over, and a number of people went to the wrong venue. So we still had a good crowd, and I think we got the message across. Remember, this is the first proper protest has been against the war. Hopefully we'll start having a proper debate about it, which all the mainstream media are completely no platform. So I think what was it a few days ago, BDS did an article on this terrible scenario of there being 50 UK special forces in Ukraine. Now we are going to add to all of that by having a proper debate because it's not in the public's interest, not in the UK's interest, it's not even in the world's interest to be involved in this conflict.
Yeah, I agree. And I hope this is the start of many other not our war. I hope this isn't just a one-off. I'm going to say to David, we need to keep doing this, maybe not once every month. I know David lives in Glasgow, or maybe do one in Glasgow. Maybe tour it around the country. I don't know.
Yes, it needs to be once a month because this situation is getting worse. But it's interesting how people in other organisations have been picking up our posters. So we've got a variety of posters, and we've all got our personal choices as to which design. Some people don't like buying children on posters, some people do, some people like other ones. And I think the important thing is to get the variety of messages and pages. So we've had some very good designs, but people have been saying, well, we've got ideas and need to put them forward. And I reckon what we've had on display today has been quite impressive, and can only get better because we've got a lot of artistic talent in the freedom movement, and here's an opportunity for them to come forward and contribute to the campaign.
Okay. Well, that's brilliant, man. That's brilliant. Thank you, Anthony, for that. That was great.
Well, it's great that most of the Unity News team has been available for this weekend.
Yeah.
And some Unity News are good as well.
Yeah. It is great. Hopefully that will expand. Hopefully UNN continues to expand, and I hope hopefully not our war. The be regular, more semi-regular kind of protest to it, or maybe do one in Glasgow, do one around the Newcastle, etc. I hope that's what's going to happen. That's what I want to spread on, guys.
Yeah, well, I think like today, there's a small group of people from they're ethnically from Ukraine, protesting about our approach.
Yeah, counter-protesting it,
that's the best way to do. But they're calling us Russian trolls and all this sort of thing, which shows that they're not capable of having an argument on me.
Oh no, they could smear you with words. But I've seen, you missed earlier, David actually debated Pavlov, the main Ukraine guy over there in the corner. So I saw my live stream with David Clues. So it's very emotional stuff, I think personally, that's coming from the Ukraine side. It's like, oh, we got to do this because, but at the end of the day, they're pro-death. They want it to continue. I mean, I spoke to the guy earlier as well, Pavlov. He said, I want it to continue regardless of the cost. I'm paraphrasing, regardless of what it takes, that we got to beat Russia. So he's pro-death. He's pro-throwing people. He's pro the meat grinder. He's pro just throwing in young people, whatever, elderly, farmers now. They're fighting. Because they run out of people, they're conscripting people, so they're just throwing anyone to the meat grinder, and he's pro that, and I think that's just abhorrent. And he's pro sacrificing more people to this war, and I don't like that. I think that's very dishonourable. You know what I mean?
It is, and they wouldn't say that if they're in the front line themselves.
Because obviously they won't do it. They're not putting their mouth. They're not putting their money where their mouth is. They're just going, yeah, all of you lot go. I'll stay here. They're almost like the mainstream politicians, where they create wars and they never send their sons and daughters. Everyone else's sons and daughters can go, but I'm not sending my son and daughter, even though I caused the war. These state officials. So I think he's sort of similar to that in that regard. It's that, oh no, all of you lot go. I'll keep advocating for more death, but I'm not going to go. You lot can go instead in my stead.
Well, it's a major reason for the huge number of Ukraine refugees in Western Europe, and even in Russia, who've got the most number of refugees, nearly 3 million, and we've got 190,000 a year. But that's costing us $2 billion a year. But a lot of those are of military age, and they're avoiding being called up. And of course, if we go back to when Zelensky was elected, he was elected.
Around saying he was a libertarian.
Yeah.
Libertarians do not believe in war.
Exactly. So there's no mandate from the Ukrainian people to be at war, and there's been referendums in eastern Ukraine about whether they want to be part of Russia.
Yeah.
But at no time have the Ukraine people,
I think it's the Shandos,
been given a referendum about whether they want to be in this war. It's not good at all. Not good for democracy, and there isn't any democracy in Ukraine whatsoever. Anyway,
but thank you, Anthony, for that. That's great. Thank you very much. Good luck to on your travels back. Take care. Are you going to the pub now or anything like that? I've heard Dr. Niall McRae said that is the case. So it's just down the road and then take you know where West End Theatre? That West End, where we're theatre No. So you go around that way. You go as if you're walking up the Leicester Square. Before you get to Leicester Square, there's a pub on the opposite called the Shander. I think I heard someone say the Shandos. I don't know if that's true. Up there, you know what it's called, the West End Theatre? That's what I heard. I could be wrong.
People don't realise
Zelensky the head of the snake? I don't think so. I think he's a puppet. I don't think he's the head of the snake. I think he's part of the snake. I don't think he's the head of it.
He's the head of the evil child trafficking.
Hey, you're right.
You,
good. You just got it? Yeah. Oh, mate, you missed it.
What happened?
Oh, there was like a rally event, there was all speeches and stuff.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, now this is just the end.
No, I just come down here for a bit of food, I didn't even know anything was happening.
End the war, you know, no more money for Zelensky and all that sort of stuff. That was basically it. So there was speakers.
Well, we are, we're giving them fucking loads, aren't we?
I know, that's what I mean. Right, so we're just saying no more, just peace, you want peace, you know what I mean? A peace talk and all that, but it's all, we've got one cunt over there, who's like the number one promoter of Ukraine, like going, oh, more money, go over there and fight for it. But he won't go, himself.
Keep your hand on your gun. Don't you trust anyone. Don't you trust anyone.
You've been there before, man. Yeah. CHA, whatever the fuck it is.
So I just go straight,
and then go on the right side. You're walking up the Leicester Square, right? And then you see.
Hello, bro. How are you, son? I'm good.
Like that.
I'm
gonna go now. Yeah, I need to. Yeah, people getting there at 6, you know. But the music, I said the music don't start till at least 7 then, so I didn't say it starts till then. Right, guys, I think I'm going to call it. Guys. So, cause it's just like, you know, just people chatting. We're about to go to the thing. So, guys, if you like the content, guys, please consider a small donation. You know, beer money, I call it, but really it's basically more like getting around in a way. I mean, I've got another one called Fuel because I've got to literally, you know, the cost of fuel is just bloody insane. I don't really, I used to have a nice job, but unfortunately because I took a standing life and I started not wearing a mask, I was basically got rid of. So, and I just don't want to be part of that wage slave job anymore. You know, I've just seen it, because next time, I mean, what, if I get another job, let's say, next time something happens like the COVID nonsense, or I don't start shitting LGBTQ, or shitting Black Lives Matter, or shitting Zelensky, or something like that, I'll just lose my job again. So what's the point? Because that's just the way I am. I won't be silent to it. So that's why I live an unusual and alternative lifestyle. So, but there we go. That's just it. But anyway, guys, if like I said, please do follow UNN. And one thing you can do, guys, you can't, if you don't want to support me financially for understandable reasons, no worries, I understand. But please, all of you watching, please do, because my channel is on the verge, pretty much, of being cancelled, of being deleted. And my backup channel, I'm literally live streaming right now, as well as YouTube, and live streaming also from Odyssey, my Delivering Liberty Odyssey account. Please do join that, guys. Just create an account if you're not, or just follow it, or just put it on your homepage. You know, you don't have to join it. You know what I mean? But then you know, because once I am banned off YouTube, and I will be, it's only a matter of time, guys. Let's be honest, yeah. Because censorship's getting worse and worse. Odyssey will be my backup channel, so please do that. UNN also have an Odyssey channel where we live stream from, and live stream all the shows from. So do check that out as well, guys. So if you follow, when you go on my Odyssey channel, search also for Unity News Network, and also search for actual coverage, because at the moment he's only live streaming now from Odyssey. He's only going to upload videos from now on to YouTube. So he's not going to do no more live streams on his YouTube channel. So do follow him on Odyssey, yeah, because that's his live stream. He can probably upload videos still, but it won't be live, if you know what I mean. So thanks, Mansby, thank you, yeah. Cheers. But yeah, I'm going to head off, guys. So thanks very much for watching. You've all been stars. Was there anything else I want to say? I'm back. I'll probably be live streaming again on Tuesday, 12 noon for my show that I do. So do check that out. Okay, guys, thanks very much. Do you want to say final bye? I'm saying bye. Do you want to say bye? You want to blow them a kiss? You want to blow a kiss? And a wink? And a wink? And a cheeky wink? Yeah? No.
Have a great day, guys.
Take care. It's starting to rain now as well, so it's a good time. Right, guys, take care. See you later.
I think Sam said it's coming this way and then